It's the big question, right? The one that every single person in every culture across all of human history has asked. What happens when we die? For thousands of years, we've tried to map that great unknown. Well, in this explainer, we're going to journey through some of the most profound and fascinating maps humanity has ever come up with.
So, when the lights go out, is that it? Game over? Or is death just a doorway? The world's great religions have created these incredible detailed roadmaps of the afterlife, each one offering a totally unique vision of the soul's next great adventure. And today, we're going to explore 6 of them.
All right, so let's start with a framework that billions of people around the world share. It's the idea that we live one life right here on Earth, and after that comes a final, definitive judgment. This is the absolute core belief of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
Now in Islam, the journey starts, get this, the moment you're laid to rest. Islamic tradition describes how 2 angels, Munkar and Nakir, actually show up in the grave to ask you 3 absolutely crucial questions. For a true believer, the answers are said to come easily. Their grave then expands into a beautiful, peaceful garden until a final day of judgment, but if not, the grave itself begins to punish them. All of this leads to that ultimate judgment, when every soul is brought back, and then to the Sirat Bridge, a path over hell said to be sharper than a sword, that everyone, and I mean everyone, must try to cross.
Catholicism, on the other hand, introduces this really fascinating idea of an in-between place. It's not heaven, it's not hell, it's purgatory. The best way to think about it isn't so much a punishment, but more like a spiritual hospital. It's a place where a soul that's ultimately headed for heaven gets healed and purified of any remaining imperfections. And here's the crucial part. It's believed the prayers of people still alive can actually help those souls, maybe even shortening their time there.
But even within Christianity, you've got different roadmaps. For Orthodox Christians, the soul goes on a 40-day journey where it faces these aerial toll houses, each one a place to account for specific sins. And here's a mind-bending idea. Heaven and hell might not be different places, but just different ways of experiencing God's overwhelming presence. Pure joy for the righteous, but agony for those who rejected love. Most Protestant traditions, though, pretty much reject the whole idea of a purgatory, believing that when you die, your soul goes directly to its eternal home based on your faith.
Okay, so this brings us to a really surprising take on hell, and it comes from Judaism. In Jewish texts, there's a place called Gehenna, but listen to this. It's not a place of eternal damnation, it's a place of purification, and it lasts for a maximum of 12 months. This quote just captures it perfectly. It's like a spiritual washing machine for the soul. The whole idea is that even a soul that's made a lot of mistakes can eventually be cleansed and move on.
So this little chart really helps lay it all out. You can see the key differences right away. Look at the nature of hell. Temporary in Judaism, but eternal in most Christian and Islamic thought. Each one has some concept of an in-between state, whether you're waiting for the world to come, being purified in purgatory, or having that experience in the grave. And the end goal is different too, from a perfected world right here on earth to seeing God in heaven or resting in the gardens of paradise.
Okay, we've talked about one life, one judgment. But what if that whole model is, well, wrong? What if death isn't a final event at all? What if it's just one stop on a continuous, looping journey of existence? Welcome to the core idea of the Dharmic traditions.
This endless cycle has a name, Samsara. In both Hinduism and Buddhism, it's the giant cosmic wheel that drives all of existence. And the fuel for that engine? It's karma, that universal law of cause and effect. Every single action, every thought you have creates a ripple that determines what your next life will be like. You could come back as a human, an animal, or even a being in a heaven or a hell realm. But here's the thing, none of it is permanent.
But hang on, if you're being reborn, what part of you is actually coming back? And this is where we find a huge, fascinating difference. Hinduism says there's an Atman, an eternal, unchanging soul that is the real you. It just moves from body to body, kind of like you're changing your clothes. Buddhism, however, offers this radical idea of anatta, or no self. It says there is no permanent soul, just a continuous stream of consciousness. Think of it like using one candle to light another. The flame is passed on for sure, but is it the exact same flame?
If you want a really detailed map of that in-between state, look no further than Tibetan Buddhism. They call it the Bardo, and it's a 49-day journey where your consciousness goes through some pretty intense experiences. Right at the moment of death, there's a flash of pure, clear light, a split-second chance for instant enlightenment. If you miss it, you then encounter all these visions, first of beautiful, peaceful figures, and then terrifying, wrathful ones. But the big secret is, they're all just projections of your own mind.
If you don't achieve liberation by the end, your karma pulls you into one of 6 realms for a new life.
Okay, for our last stop, we're going to look at one of the world's oldest religions, Zoroastrianism. It's an ancient faith, and a lot of its ideas about good versus evil, a final judgment, and even resurrection are thought to have had a huge influence on the Abrahamic religions that came later.
Right at the heart of the Zoroastrian afterlife is this moment of judgment that might sound a little familiar. It all happens at a bridge. 4 days after you die, your soul travels to the Chinvat bridge, the great separator between the world of the living and the world of the dead.
So you get to this bridge, and your own conscience, the sum of all your life's deeds, appears before you. If you lived a good, righteous life, it takes the form of a beautiful guide. The bridge becomes wide and easy to cross, leading you straight to paradise, called the House of Song. But if you lived a wicked life, that same bridge narrows until it's as thin as a razor's edge, and your soul just tumbles off into the House of Lies, a dark place of suffering.
But here's what's so wild, and honestly pretty optimistic about the Zoroastrian view: hell isn't forever. They believe in a final cosmic event, a final renewal, where all of creation is purified. And that includes every soul in the House of Lies. They're all eventually cleansed and saved. In this worldview, goodness wins, completely and totally. Every single soul is ultimately redeemed.
Wow. So when you step back and look at all of these incredible, detailed visions, what you really see is all of humanity asking the same ultimate questions, but coming up with some vastly different maps to try and navigate the mystery of what's next.
We can really boil all of this down to 2 major frameworks. First, you've got the linear path of the Abrahamic traditions. You get one shot, one life, and it leads to one final eternal outcome. Then you've got the cyclical path of the Dharmic traditions. It's a potentially infinite loop of lives, all driven by karma, where the goal isn't just to get to a better place, but to get off the ride completely, to achieve liberation.
You know, from a spiritual washing machine to a razor-thin bridge, from an eternal soul that changes clothes to a flame of consciousness passed from one candle to the next, these maps of the afterlife are some of the most powerful and profound ideas our species has ever come up with. And they all point to one thing, that our actions here matter, that they echo into whatever comes next. So the question I'll leave you with is this: which of these ideas resonated most with you?